All right. Good morning and welcome. Tuesday morning yoga. If there's anything in particular you need today, let me know. Okay. Oh, so sweet, beautiful, you guys, amazing. You know, what was I listening to yesterday? I don't know. It doesn't even matter what I was listening to. And the person who was speaking was just talking about how, just showing up. All you need to do in life is just show up. You just need to show up and to be present, for the people who need you the most. Oh, I know who it was. It was Judith Hansen-Lassiter. And she was talking about the gift of restorative yoga and how we take an hour and do, I see that. And we take time to just do nothing. Really, you're just lying there, as I take that, that phrase from one of us, but you're just lying there. You're not really doing anything. And it is the greatest gift of time you can gift yourself, to just be still and to be quiet. So she was just talking about just the simple act of just showing up is profound for you, but it's not just for you, it's for the people in your life. And that, when we take the time to be quiet, to be introspective, to maybe honor what's happening for us around in your life, inner life, outer life, that we heal ourselves so that we are better for the people who need us the most, which I often say. So that's okay. Well, with that, that's where we're gonna go. So let's have a bolster, 2 blocks, and I will do a legs up the wall too. So if you don't have a wall nearby, you can always use a couch or a chair, or even just put your legs on the bolster when we get there. And then, saying all that too, if you want socks or a sweatshirt or anything else, an eye covering, grab what you need. And when you have all your stuff and you're sitting comfortably, then you'll just turn your palms up for a few moments. Let's interlace or circle the index finger and the thumb. I'm even tucking that index finger in a little bit closer to the base of the thumb if you can, just to change it up a little bit. And close your eyes. Feel your breath. Yourself present on your mat, and whatever was happening for you right before this moment, just let that all go. And whatever is waiting for you at the end of this practice will be there at the end of the practice. So let that be the invitation to be very, very present. And even though you're here physically, you invite all parts of you to just show up. I can feel my breath. Notice that the eyelids are fluttering. Maybe you smile, soften the eyes. Notice any tension in the shoulders. Maybe as you exhale, you can drop the shoulders a little bit and lift the heart. Before we move on from here, take a nice big inhalation, nice and slow, all the way to the top. Perhaps exhale through your mouth, release the mudra, bring the palms together in front of your heart, bow your chin. Resting in your stillness. You take this intention as we enter into practice. I honor myself. I honor my practice. I honor myself. I honor my practice. I honor myself. I honor my practice. Both are perfect as they are today. We'll open this and seal that with 3 ohms. Inhale, nice and tall, lengthen.
Bowing your chin, place your hands on your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, guys. So I'm going to offer, just going to do a sun salute just to kind of move the body a little bit. We're not going to go super fast, and then we'll settle in. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to stand at all, then, you know, you just do child's pose and some cat-cows, and you'll just meet us whenever. Otherwise, you might want a blanket for your knees, and you might want your blocks. That's totally optional. Like I said, we're not going to do 100 sun salutes, just maybe 1 or 2 to make it balanced. So just coming to stand at the front of your mat. Take a look at your feet. Hello, feet. You can see them there. You can wiggle your piggies. And then anchor the feet down. Lengthen yourself. And on your inhalation, we're just going to reach the arms straight up to the sky. And you can look up. Let's take a few breaths here as we lengthen and soften. So feel the feet connecting, pressing down as you inhale, the arms reaching. And as you exhale, they gently move towards each other. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll take a nice big inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold into your forward fold. However you do that, nice and kind first. Big movement, maybe of your day. Take a few breaths here. Feel free to rock a little bit front to back on your feet. You walk your hands forward or put them in a place that feels okay. Good. And we'll settle on the feet. Inhale, lengthen. So you lift even the belly draws in, chin, chest. And exhale and fold. Let's do that 2 more times. So you feel your head moving. And releasing as you exhale. So my knees are bent. Just telling you that. So beginning, good. And then we'll just lift up to the halfway. Move your hands back either side of your feet. Let's step the left foot to the back. And just wiggle it back and find your little lunge. I'm going to lower that knee to the floor. And then inhale and reach your arms up. And we're just taking this big stretch. I press the right foot back. I take the hips back, everything back. And then as you exhale, maybe you bend more into that knee. Release your hands to the floor. Lift the back knee up, and we'll step back for a downward facing dog. Okay, so in this dog, take a moment or 2 to settle. Feel, make the arms like your legs, nice and strong. Okay, bring your big toes to touch. And as you inhale, you lift that left leg up in the air. And then exhale, put it down. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift both heels. And exhale, take the knees down. Move into child's pose. Just for 2 or 3 breaths here, just to feel what's happening in your hips, your knees, your feet, your breath. Your inhale, we're going to curl up. So we lift ourselves up, mid-back lifting up. As you exhale, tuck your toes under, release the belly, lift the chin, and then press back to your downward facing dog. Good.
Okay, we're gonna walk the feet to the front. So maybe a whole bunch of steps, one giant step at a time. And when we come to the front, we'll inhale, lift your chin, chest, heart. And exhale and fold. Okay, inhale all the way up. Bend your knees, open the arms, reach up. And then exhale, release your arms down by your side. A little dizziness might be what you're experiencing. It's normal. Okay, so we'll do the second side. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Touch the earth, bow your chin. Inhale, lift your belly, your chest, your heart, your chin. And exhale and fold. Do that 2 more times. Moving with your breath. You notice if your eyes open as you lift and they close as you turn in. And from here, stay in the fold. Bring your hands either side of your feet. Take your right foot all the way to the back. You have a little wiggle. And then lower the knee down. And inhale, reach up. And you take that knee back, shift the hips back, reach up. And then maybe as you exhale with all that lift, you bend more into the left knee. Reach. Release your hands to the floor and take downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Okay, I'm going to lift the right leg this time and maybe take dog peeing pose. So we'll bend the knee, move the leg or move the foot over to the left, push the left thigh back, push into the heels of your hands, and release. And then second side, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open. And then release. Both feet to the floor. On your inhale, lift your heels. And exhale, release yourself down into child's pose. Take one more breath. Sigh out. Walk your hands back, and I'm just going to press up into sitting. Vajrasana, Thunderbolt Pose. If that's no good, you sit anyway because we're just going to set up. So take your good friend Bolster. Hello, good friend Bolster. I'm just going to put it mostly at the front of the mat. And then you'll take your blanket just for head support. So you can have it maybe just a loose roll. I just kind of rolled it into 3s here. So it started off. You know, just give it a loose little roll for your head. And then grab your block. Now, because we're going to be on your backs, guys, if you want your socks, if you want your sweaters, you put all of that on, it's totally fine. Okay, the block is going to go probably a little bit in front of the bolster, and that's where your tush is going to go. So you might put it in after, you can put it in before. I'm just going to set mine aside and just sit in front of the bolster with some nice space there. So lie back, and then once you're in, you find your head, neck support, take your block, lift your hips, and that block can go any height. You know, if you have it at the lowest height, that might feel just so sweet. You want to go higher, you can absolutely do that. So whatever feels good, you know, this is the beginning, and I said it's also restorative, so make it comfortable. I'm actually going to go back to the first height. Okay, so once you feel there's that exhale, you know you did it. Then take your arms out to a comfortable place. So that here's what I want you to feel with your props. I want you to feel that the forehead is higher than the chin. So you're using that support under your head to find that. And we're almost looking into our own hearts. Then feel like your hips are either in line with your spine or a little higher. But the feet are on the floor. So I have the knees bent. It can be any distance you like. And that with the arms open, the heart is open. And then once you've settled, feel very supported. You haven't closed your eyes yet. Invite them to close. The jaw to soften. And start to be with your breath. If you're breathing through your nose or your mouth or a combination, just noticing. Noticing too the flow of your breath and the way we've supported the body, we're changing the flow. Just feel into your own experience. Now we come back, we bring your awareness back to your breath. And just feel how the inhalation flows into the exhalation. So sometimes, we observe the pauses. Here, just be in that flow. It's feeling like the inhalation will flow into your exhalation just very naturally. Almost like your breath is creating this infinity sign, or an elongated 8, figure 8. Just follow that breath for a few minutes. Softening your eyes. So the only thing we're going to change here is the block. And if you have the block on a second height or a third height, you might just lower it down. If you're on the first height, then you might take it out. Eventually, we're going to take that block out. So you maybe go slow if you started at a higher height. And if it doesn't feel right to have the block out, then just keep it. Okay, once you have the block out, if you want to stretch your legs out, you're welcome to do that, or keep them bent. You might even walk your feet apart and bring the knees together. And then just coming back to your breath, making little adjustments you need to make. If you have your legs extended, your feet just want to flop out, let that happen. And then just settle back in to the flow of your breath, to things that have, how it's changed. And you're just here as observer. Settling in again. Keeping your awareness on the breath, the easy flow of inhale and exhale. And the natural softening of the body into the props, into the floor. rest here for another few minutes. Just inviting yourself to be present, but to be softly aware, softly observant. And to rest and release into your support. Before we move out of this, and take the next 3 or 5 breaths. See where you're still holding. Back of your heart supported by the bolster. The shoulders maybe protecting themselves a little bit. And the belly releasing to the back. And then take a little bit of a deeper breath in. Full exhale out. Just take the arms, just reach them over your head and move your fingers. Stretch your feet like you're waking up from Shavasana. And then we'll bend the knees, place the feet back on the floor. And your arms can go wherever feels better, maybe back up to the sides if that's better. Then walk your feet in a little bit closer to your hips. We're going to lift the hips. So if you're still on your block, that might be a hindrance. I'm going to take it out. Okay, and then the palms can turn down if you need to. And as you inhale, just press your feet down, lift your hips up, maybe just as high as your bolster. And then just start with your hammock, your hip hammock. So we're just going to swing the hips side to side a few times. So as you swing the hips to one side, that foot is going to push down a little bit more. So let's just do one more on each side. And then set your tush back down. And we'll come to windshield wiper. So you can walk your feet a little wider and then move into the side to side of the knees. You don't have to go to the floor. You're just moving everything in a very nice, gentle way. Just bringing your knees back. You're going to come off the bolster. So walk your feet where you need to so you can roll over to one side. Just very carefully taking yourself off the bolster. Take a breath or two here on your side. Ourselves up to sitting. Just take a moment. You can sit on your bolster if you like, or just as you are. Just feel, what's happened. What you feel. You've been noticing your state of being at this moment. We're going to come into twist. We'll use the bolster as we do. So I'll just take my right hip facing the bolster. You move your blocks out of the way. But if you want a blanket, sometimes lots of you who remember back when we used to do this together, sometimes I'd come around and cover you. And so you could do that for yourself. And it's a nice thing to maybe even have your blanket. If this is totally optional. The legs are just bent. I'm going to take my hands either side of this bolster. I might move the blanket to support my belly. You just be curious. You turn yourself. We're going to lie down over this bolster. I'm going to turn my head. So I brought my hands to support my head. Same direction as the knees to start. So once you're in, the lengthening of the spine, turn the belly, chest to face the bolster, lie down, support your head, maybe a second blanket for your head, use the same one. We're just going to take a few breaths there. Yeah, tuck yourself in. Make any adjustments you need. So just take a few moments to just be here. And after 3-5 breaths, we'll deepen it. You'll walk your hands back, come back up, lengthen, turn, and this time your head might turn away from your knees. So whatever feels better. If it's not so good for your neck, just keep your head turning. Just think, can I get a little bit more of a twist? And then we'll rest. So if your hands are not underneath your head, they might slip underneath the bolster with the palms up, like you're giving it a little hug. And we'll take a few moments to just settle. And then we can add the legs if you so desire. The bottom leg is your right leg, and it just kind of pops out to the side. And the left leg can move back, or it can go extend along the length of your mat. Just kind of see what feels right. Just opening the legs just opens, grounds the twist a little bit. Upward. Just coming back to the flow of your breath and how the shape of your body will change that flow. And gently playing with your breath. And you are working with the inhale, just playfully, not forcing, but maybe opening the parts of you with your breath from the inside. Feel the body moving with the breath. And any place you're holding. And softening into the shape of the pose. Moving into our final few moments. You have your head turning away from your legs, just bringing it back now. So the neck gets a moment or two to just come back. You open your legs, just holding them back in and gently releasing yourself up and out of this twist. And as you come out, you might naturally just turn away from the bolster. Just take a moment to just sit any way you like. Close your eyes if that helps you to feel the unwinding, the untwisting. The freedom, the flow of your breath, the softness in your head. To the second side. So bring your left hip to the bolster. I'm just going to turn this stuff. So you can just turn around and then set yourself up however you did. Bring the bolster right into the left hip. The blanket wherever you like. Legs are just folded. And then hands on either side. Lengthen. Turn yourself. So move belly, chest, face the bolster. Lie down, and we'll keep the head facing same direction as the knees. So 3 or 5 breaths. You're going to know when it's time. You'll feel your breath settle, maybe the body settle. And then you can even keep your eyes closed as you do this. And just lengthen, lift yourself up. Lengthen, turn, and come in again. And maybe this time the head will turn away. Say maybe. Kind and gentle. I honor myself and honor my practice. The work is in the awareness. Being very present to your inner experience. If you'd like to extend the legs, the left leg out to the side, and the right leg just even back a bit or extended. Just be playfully curious. And rest filled. To our final few moments here. Just settling a little bit more deeply any place you can. Turn your head away from the legs, just lovingly bringing it back for a few breaths. Holding the legs in, using your hands and your inhalation to bring you up, and then you can keep your eyes closed. And then just coming to just sit. If you're going cross-legged, and maybe you change the cross of your legs for a few moments here. And just feeling. Just take one nice big breath in. You might reach your arms up. Wiggle your fingers, and as you breathe out, just release your arms down. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. So our next pose is going to be legs up the wall. And if that's, legs on the couch or even just legs on the bolster, you can even do the block. And so I've been doing this with 2 bolsters, and I know not everyone has the luxury of 2 bolsters. So if you want to try a higher height for the hips, you can also put your blocks and then put your bolster on top. Totally optional. The effect I want to get here is that the hips are lifted and the chest is going to be down. So just kind of we're changing the angle of the spine a little bit. So either you can just lift your hips, lie down on your back, feet on the floor, or you can go to your wall. Okay, and then I have this blanket, so I'm gonna wrap my legs up in that blanket. I'll just open it up all the way, put the feet in the center of the blanket, and then just kind of wrap it up so that they'll stay together. Okay, sit on the bolster. Here's where things, kind of interesting. Right against the wall. Take the bottom arm, move the tush to the wall until you can come down. And just find your place. I've seen many people kind of fall a little bit here as you're trying to get it in, or the bolster drops it. So I just tell you that happens to you, you're not alone. Then you can wrap your legs up. You don't need to do that. If you come into this and you started with the blocks, you're like, oh, it does not feel nice. Then just push your feet into the wall, lift your hips, take them out. Okay. Good. Maybe you need a blanket under your head or another blanket to cover you. And an eye pillow, if you have one, is nice, but not 100% necessary. It does drop us in. And then once you're settled, support under the head. So adjusting so that you feel your chest, heart is down. I mean, maybe a little bit lifted depending on how you underneath your hips. Settling to the back of the head. Okay. So if anything doesn't feel comfortable, we're going to be here for about 10 minutes. So if anything's not quite comfortable, then readjust. You take the time and get in. And the other thing that happens when we come in, we take a few, the body needs some time to get comfortable. So if it's a little bit of discomfort, then maybe you stay with it for a bit. But if you know it's no good, then make your adjustments. And just releasing yourself completely. Beauty of this pose is normally we're standing on our feet, energy moving down, and now we're shifting. The way energy moves through the feet, through the legs, through the hips, through the pelvis, through the heart, through the head, changing the flow of the breath. There's so much to observe. And you get this luxury of time to be still and quiet, to be aware of how the shape you're in affects and can change, can offer change. I'm just exploring as we've been doing this inner experience of breath, of body, and of being. And all you need to do is just show up. Notice your inner gaze. Invite your eyes to drop. If you're not sure how to do that, smile. And rest your inner gaze on your third eye. And feeling from the third eye, your inner gaze just dropping to the back of your skull. At any point you feel you need to just change the position of your legs into Konasana or open wide or just feet at the wall. And give yourself a little break and then re-extend your legs and let that happen as your body says it needs it. Just staying present to the stillness. And the body rest more deeply into the supports. As the body drops, again, just feeling the flow of your breath, creating this infinity sign, dovetailing from one part of the breath to the next. Move into our final few moments here. Scanning and noticing what parts of you are heavy, what parts of you can let go a little bit more of. I honor myself, I honor my practice. Noticing how heavy the body feels when you first came into this pose. And finally, just flowing and feeling where the breath is being more received in this shape. So ready to come out, start with the same way you do, waking up as if you're doing waking up from Shavasana. And if you're really digging this legs up the wall and you don't want to leave it, you don't have to. Our next pose is Shavasana. So it could be done here, or you just slowly make your way out. And coming off the bolster, sometimes you just press your feet in the wall, wiggle yourself away, or roll to your side, whichever one. I'm just going to do a little wiggle off the bolster. So either just sitting up or taking a few moments and wiggled yourself off. And nothing's hurried. You know where you're going to your Shavasana. So take your time to set that up. Or stay in your legs up the wall. I'm just going to pull this bolster under my knees. Keep this blanket wrapped around my legs. Just another cover. And I do have an eye pillow here. I'm going to put that on now. And we have about maybe just a little bit less than 10 minutes for this time. As you come down and support your head, you might grab the edges of your blanket, just hold them under, so you get a little lift. Make yourself super comfortable. So just lie here and do nothing except quietly observe yourself without judgment, with deep compassion, love, compassionate love. So once you're feeling comfortable and supported, warm. It's resting. Let's say resting well. Acknowledging that even though you're in your own space, you're resting, we're resting together. We're supporting each other in our endeavor to be more calm, more present. And to gather what we need so we can truly show up for whatever arises in this life. Shavasana. Staying as you are. Acknowledging the breath. Letting this body get a little heavier. Before we move on, just observing yourself in your rest. Taking your time, friends, a minute at least for you to take your time coming out. And if you want 2 minutes, you can have that too. Either staying as you are, just beginning to make your movements. You bend your knees. Hug your knees into your chest for a few moments and rock side to side or just stay still. Again, yogi's choice. And as you come to rest on your side, you'll just take a few moments there. Just feel everything kind of settle again into the floor and roll to your side. From that heaviness, when the time is right, either stay or roll back onto your back. You like to sit. I'm just going to sit. So once you get here, you just make yourself comfortable and just feel everything that you have offered yourself in this time of just a time of stillness and of presence. Just basking in the glow of your softened energies. Take a seated twist before we come out completely. I just feel like I just need that. So if you feel you need that too, just very gently, just turn your hands. A little twist on each side. Good. We'll bring the hands together when you get here. Bow your chin. Great honoring, devotion. Honor myself and I honor my practice. And your next inhale, lengthen nice and tall, and exhale this breath. And if you would like to turn on gallery view, I'll just pause for a moment before we seal this practice with our May We Be Blessed prayer. Okay. All right, take a big breath in. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. May we be happy. Seal that with an Om. Inhale. Take a big breath in. Breathe into your hands. Put your breath. I honor myself. I honor my practice. And then offer this to yourself. And offer it out to each other and beyond. And then you take it back. Yes. All of good energy. Okay. Thank you, guys. So beauty. Thank you. Thank you. Good. May your nourishment of your restorative practice feed you the rest of your day to the weekend. Oh no, it's only Tuesday. To the weekend. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I see you, Sarah. All right. Take care, everybody. I love you all. Happy Tuesday.